It's weekend preview time. Daggy and Beaver with you. Show us your tips, courtesy of showusyourtips.net. We've got the day 2 of the championships to get stuck into. Bendigo is playing along in the background as well. How are you travelling, Beaver?
Look, mates, can't complain. Flying along nicely and enjoying the punting season, which is going okay.
That Aliana looks all right.
Sorry?
That Aliana looks all right.
Yes, it goes quite well, although, it might have been a bit flattered by the field. I think once it's up against some better quality, maybe a different story, but very impressive and found its best form there.
And some other good bets throughout the car. We probably borderline being a great day, but some winners early, some tough slogs in the Group 1s at least. For myself, and Miss Aria was a tremendous bet for about 1,398 metres. But we live to fight again with day 2 of the championships, which looks to take place on a with some perfect weather. Rail 3 track should be dead again, I would suggest. What do you make of this card?
Yeah, a bit of an interesting card. Probably a little bit of a drop off from last week's, but
it's not as exciting as last week's, I don't think. But
not as exciting in that sense. There looks to be some races later in the day that limited chances, let's say, and but sometimes it never pans out that way. So interesting betting card. We'll see how we get on, and we'll do our tips and see what we come up with.
Well, we kick off in the first with the mile Fernhill, the Fernhill mile over mile for the 2-year-olds. A race won by Broadsiding and Tom Kitten in the last couple of years. I dare say they're not here, or no one to that level is here today. Who is going to win it, though?
Yeah, I think you're right there. An interesting way to start the day. I've settled on the number 4, Michelangelo, here from the Wallace stable. I just think it's working up now. Nice, the first 3 runs have been good, and these are the type of horses that once Waller gets them out over this mile and a quarter, etc., that they come to their best form. And I think this might be one of them here that's got the upside here as it steps up in distance, and I've got it on top.
No idea. Don't like the race. For the sake of a tip, I'm putting Polish Playgirl on top, and I'm disgusted in myself for tipping those connections. The second is the 1,400 metre South Pacific Classic for the 3-year-olds. Interesting race here. I think there's 3 horses that I was attracted to. The first is Meridiana, who looks a little try. I thought it trialled really well. Smashed the line on debut at midweek level. Went back, had another lovely trial. Maybe a shade short, but comes to a winnable race, and I think there's some upside to it. The other horse that I'll definitely be backing is Pisces. It's 20-1. It could be the best horse in the race. It went back on a leader's track. It worked along, and he had the best closing fractions all bar Autumn Glow in the race. First up, gets the best jockey, arguably the best jockey in Australia. Probably second best there in Damien Lane, and it's 20-1, so it will be my best result. And my favourite stable brings a horse coming off 3 in a row with Blake Shinn on top, no strings attached. Has to be considered, but I've not always enthused about packing them to Randwick, I'll be honest, but it does look obvious. I think the rest of these Sydney horses have almost reached their midweek level, I'd suggest. But who have you found?
Yeah, I've gone the same way as you. I've gone Meridiana.
Oh, nice.
Thought there's plenty to like about the first up win there. I think there's plenty of upside and plenty of improvement here. 1,400 metres again, Suit gets in with the reasonably well weighted at 53, and just gone for the fresh blood a little bit here on top.
The third is the Provincial Midway Championships final. It is also at 1,400 metres full field. Who's going to win this one?
Yeah, this is not one of the races I was overly excited in. I've settled on the top weight, Matcha Latte. It's third up here. I think it's got the most upside of a lot of these. Gets the gun draw in gate 2. And third up, I think that's perfect. I think it's got a bit of improvement in it here. And for that reason, I think it can control this race and be hardest to beat. So I've got it on top. Found it hard to find a danger.
I am with you. I won't repeat everything you just said, but I thought on top of all that, it has a second to Here to Shock in a Group 3 and has a second in a Carbine Club on its record. I think it's a nice horse. Absolute live chance here with the best run. Money Team, I came up with the danger. Wide Gate, hopefully Craig Williams doesn't snag all the way back. And Kind Word seems to suck me in as it has done for nearly 3 years now. We might have a little saver on it as well. The fourth is the Percy Sykes Stakes, 1,200 metres, Group 2 for the 2-year-old fillies, and we get the washout of the Golden Slipper in this race most years. We've got it again with the top couple, which is where I've gone. I think you're betting that they're still going okay. I would argue that Tempted probably should have won the Golden Slipper with the right run. Now gets James McDonald, who is Damien Lane's not the best jockey in the country. He definitely is. Wide draw, but has wound them up 2 back from a wide draw. I think she can do it again. From Within the Law, lost the jockey in the slipper, went back, trialled well, live chance. They're the two. None of the fresh blood really interested me, Beaver.
Yeah, I'm with you. They are the two. I thought your summation there of Tempted probably should have went pretty close to winning the slipper with the right run. Just didn't really get the run at the right time and had to switch off heels a couple of times. I think the Gate 12 is probably good outcome in regards to that, because I don't think it should get too much traffic there. It's just making sure it gets some cover, which expect J-Mac to do that. I've got it on top, and obviously you're right, you can forgive Within the Law. Lost the jockey and can run well in this. Would have been a live chance in the slipper.
Next two races are going to be the anchors of a lot of multis, I suggest. The fifth is the 1,200 metre 3-year-old Arrowfield Sprint. Autumn Glow resumed, and we had a couple of small question marks over it, at least I did. Put them to the sword quite easily. Pops up here $1.50. Is it a put in and take out job?
You'd expect so. Better than bank interest. This is a pretty average field, and we know it's a good horse. I'd be super shocked if it didn't win. $1.45. I don't think you'll probably get that tomorrow. I think it'd be shorter than that. Should be winning.
Agree. What am I going to talk about? Enriched and public attention might fill the placings behind. The 6 is the first of the Group 1s, 2,400 metres for the 3-year-old fillies. And we have a bit of interest with Treasure the Moment, who won the Spring Oaks. Now having to fend off a couple of Kiwi Raiders. It's probably the most interesting talking point of the race. Don't think it'll matter. She'll win again. Damien Lane will add another Group 1 to its record. It can even lead this race. Racing New South Wales have in fact mapped it that way. Distance shouldn't be an issue. It is on top. From the overs in the race is due by Gold Rush. Cross the line with Like a Lucy in his 20-1. Like a Lucy, obviously the New Zealand Oaks winner. Next best. It'll just be up to you whether you want one out in the quaddie, I'd say. Anything to add?
No, I think you're right there. I thought I liked the way Bell TL stuck on last start.
And I did tip it at $12, but for the record.
You did. And I had the thing that it beat, and I thought it was going to go past it. So I was quite impressed. And I thought it looked quite strong on the line, to be honest. Yeah. I think it was pulling away again. I think it can run a good race here and be there or thereabouts. If there's any chinks in anyone's armour, I think it might stay on and be hard to beat. It's a Waller trained, and we know that Waller goes all right getting these types of stayers 2,400 metre races. So not without a chance.
The quaddie kicks off with the 3,200 metre Group 1 Sydney Cup. LL Camps backs up from its second demolition job of the prep. What are you doing in this race? I think this is actually very interesting, this one. But who have you come up with?
I don't think it's that interesting at all. I think Alicant's looks super hard to beat. 52 kilos, maybe they might something.
What
try and take it on.
scares me is there's 6 Waller runners. I can't imagine one of them not making sure this doesn't get its own way.
Yeah, well, that may be the case.
And maybe I'm jumping at shadows. I'm good at that.
Yeah, I think you might be. I think 15 it's going to come across. They may put a little bit of pace in to start. But what's going to go past it?
Duke Assessor.
Yeah, that might be the only chance. I think I think they look the two standouts here, but I just can't go past Alicante. I just think it'll keep improving. 52 gets lighter weight. It just looked like it could go all day, and I just can't see him losing 260. I think it's good value.
If you're betting in the run and it gets a soft lead after about the first bend, just bet up. If it doesn't, though, like I said, I think the safest bet for me, and because I've spooked myself, is Duke de Sessa at least maybe 2x1, which I did when it ran second last start. It's going really well this prep. Got beaten by the Willie Haggis thing, who I'll get to later. Will run the distance, no problem, I suggest, and just seems value. Alicant's absolute live chance. I'll get to the other quaddy numbers. I'm going to throw Valiant King into the quaddy when we get there as well. I think it's going to peak when we get into this grand final. The Group 1 Queen Elizabeth Stakes is next, 2,000 metres. Very, very interesting race. And V16 is about $1.90. My thoughts when I did it is I think it's complete insanity that Vauban was $23 because it should have won last start. And if it had have won, it would be probably shorter than Dubai Honor. So it will be my bet here. Again, well, right now you're getting $4 a place for a very good horse from a very good stable that's going to be a bit further forward, I suggest, than it has been. Yeah, you can talk about the ride on that. I think you already have last time out. But I'm going to take the price there. I think Dubai Honor runs well again. I'm going to predominantly play around them and see if we can knock off V16 because it may get a little bit in trouble against some top horses. But that said, great horse. If you like it, more power to you. What are you doing?
Yeah, look, I tend to sort of lean to you. I thought the $1.90 might have been a little bit skinny here. It's like we go back to Cox Plate, and that was an amazing win, but it was a bit flattered there. I think the Jap horse set that up for it. I think if the Jap horse sits back, I think it could have turned the result around. I think that was just
to me
an anomaly.
That was just it's every single thing that went right, and it produced the best run it's ever going to produce.
And I don't think its 3 runs this preparation have been all that outstanding. I mean, first up was third, and then the last 2 it's won, but it's had to fight. And sometimes at the 200, you weren't, it didn't go, look, this is just going to bomb away.
That's right.
And this is a quality field. I'm going Dubai Honor. I'm switching. I did like Vauban last start, but I'm just not sure the step back. I think it's come back in. Distance doesn't help. I think it was doing its best work late there. It was butchered in that race, and I just don't know if they've realised that a horse like Vauban in that 2400, they should have taken it off and put it into the race a lot earlier, and it should have been coming around the bend, looming up to those and trying to outstay those, because a sit and sprint was never going to win on those track under those circumstances.
Yeah.
So it just worries me they'll do the same thing. They'll take it back to the tail from gate 13 and try and loop the whole field. And I just don't know it's good. Over 2,000, it's going to be good enough to loop the whole field in this quality of race and give horses like Dubai Honor that much start. Dubai Honor, I think, will go forward. It'll try and find a posse. It just needs to find one and be hard to beat. But this is a great race. I'm really keen to see how Tom Kitten goes. Buckaroo, again, we know how good a horse Buckaroo is and can be, and Chow Wolf. So this is an outstanding race, highlight of the day for me. Keen to watch it, keen to have a bet. Dubai Honor on top. I won't be backing BS16 at $1.90, and I might, I'll probably have a few dollars on a Buckaroo or Chow Wolf, which probably means Vauban will win because I'm off.
Yeah. Well, for the record, I was going to tip Dubai Honor until I saw the market. And the fact that you're getting over 20-1 for Vauban is what's hung me. But I'll be winning if either one win there. The Queen of the Turf Stakes is next. It's over a mile. It's also at Group 1 level. You've also got a favourite that doesn't win a lot of grand finals in Fangirl. Are you trusting her here?
I'm not trusting. It's just too short for me. Obviously, it looks to be the best horse in the race. But again, I just can't. I just can't take.
It doesn't. She's not in V16, is she?
No. And again, this isn't the same quality of field that of the previous race. I just love Lazura's way it's going at the moment. I know this is the toughest test to date, but it gets in here at 54.5. Gate 12, it's got to get the right run, but its run last start should have won by 6. Had its head on its chest when got clear, hit the line really well. Just taking a bit of stab in the dark that it could be hard to beat at double figure odds. So I'm going that number 12 0.
I've tipped Fangirl on top. I don't want to back it at all. I thought a tissue was alive here, and I will put all those fillies in the quaddie. Lazira, another Profit, Cur Volante. They may not be any good, but I'll put them all in. I suspect you might be looking at Wonder Boy when we get to Bendigo as well, based off that.
Potentially.
Okay, the last is the Sapphire Stakes. It's 1,200 metres. Commemorative is another favourite that does feel a little bit short, but should have been a lot closer last time out. J-Max stuck with it over... Oh, no, Tommy Berry does usually ride a Lentier, actually, more I think about this. J-Max stuck. Outside gate. Will have some work to do, but is on top because the Lentier is too short. I think the horse is now just a complete pack chaser. Osmar, leader in the last main danger right now. What are you doing with this race?
Yeah, look, interesting race. I tend to think with your Commemorative, obviously one of the hardest to beat. I just felt 6 to 4 was a little bit skinny.
It's hard doing this show because even we've seen it last few weeks. Sorry to cut you off, but even with Briasa last week, I wasn't interested in $4, but when it won at 8, you kick yourself. But
yeah, you do. So watch the market closely there. I'm going for Alencia. I think it's working up to its best form. It's a horse that I've got plenty of opinion on. 4th behind, only 2.5 lengths behind Lady Shenandoah. That was a good run. In the Group 2, it was only a couple of lengths behind Amelia's Jewel. Hopefully there's a decent tempo on here. Gets the right drawer in Gate 2, can sit off the pace, and hopefully be hard to beat.
The Championships Day quaddie, I'm going to go a bit wider today. First leg, 1 Duke de Sessa, 2 Arapaho, 8 LL Cants, 14 Tijanas, 15 Birdman, 16 Valiant King, because I'm just scared of that Waller ambush. 1 Dubaina, what's the other thing I said? 5 Tom Kitten, 6 Vauban, and 12 Via Sistina. Next, 1 Fangirl, 3 a Tissue, 7 Cur Volante, 12 Lazira, 13 another Profit, and we'll come home with 1 Lady Laguna, 3 Olentia, 5 Commemorative, and 8 is scratched. You don't need to worry about it. So who leads the last? I don't know. Whoever's going to lead one, so I'll get my head around that. But if you just want to go with LL Counts 1 out and Via Sistina 1 out, more power to you. My best is going to be, as it has been probably half a dozen times in the last 2 years, Treasure of the Moment, race 6, number 2. My value, race 8, number 6, Vauban. What are you doing, Beaver? Just on mute, mate.
Sorry, mate, it's getting a bit noisy here.
That's all right.
Race 4, number 2, Tempted, is my best bet. Okay. And my value bet comes up in race 9, number 12, Lazura.
Beautiful. Of course, you can check out showusyourtips.net to get the written version of all this. Beaver will have that up pretty much after the show, and I'll remember to put my tips in this week. And we're going to head to Bendigo, where the rail is true, treating it as fair, but probably no harm in having a good gate on this sort of track. Weather looks good and warm too, so all systems go. If you're a fan of Mickey D, have I got the card for you? 2,400 metre benchmark 78 kicks us off. I don't know if he's going to win the first, though, because I think Still Run, the horse he's a complete slug. So I'm going to be against it and tip Beaver's horse, Inevitable Award. Sat 3 and 4 wide the whole way last time out. And he comes back here, gets a nicer run. Could probably lead if it really wants to. I think it should win. It's on top for me. What are you doing?
I'm doing the same as you, my friend.
Didn't see it coming.
Still Run might be a bit of a slug. So that makes me, we've laid the slippery in there, so look out. I got an Inevitable Award. Forgive Last Run prior to that was pretty good, 2,400 suits. Hardest to beat over Dashinga's Prestige. Third up, probably just ran out of condition last start when loomed up. And the race probably wasn't run to suit. It's the main danger for sure.
The second is the 1100-metre Gold Rush for the 2-year-olds. What are you doing here?
Yeah, pretty keen on the favourite here. Killiana was very good first up. Boxed on okay. I thought it would run a little bit better than what it did at second up, but I just don't think it was. Might have been second up syndrome, and I don't think the race was all that run to suit. In better company than this. Trialled since, I think it gets its second win here.
Yeah, had to sit outside lead and just didn't really comfortable. I think it can lead here if he wants to. Eternal Darkness might be the fly in the ointment with that. I think it's a nice horse. Should win. On top, I think both the first starters trialled pretty well, and they'll be the dangers, the 9 and a 10. The third is a 1300-metre benchmark 78. The horse that caught my eye here at about $14 was Way Marie. I just thought it was the best horse. I would have probably wanted a bit more out of the trials, but it has had 3. It gets gate 1. It's just come in the right spot. I'm hoping it's not just a tick over warm-up for something else, but it has spent its whole life in much better races than this. At the price I was interested, didn't know where to go other than that. Sunset Dreaming was well backed last week. The jockey said he didn't handle the straight. I'm probably happy to agree with that. Give it one more chance as a danger. But tricky race, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was willing to forgive that run. I'm going to stick with Sunset Dreaming. It was heavily backed last start, and it didn't work out for it. I think $4 is a good price in this. Prior to that, had some really nice form, hence why it was well backed. Trials were okay. I've got it on top as hardest to beat. I found it hard to find something else. I thought maybe the dangers were down in the number 12 Tumbling. I thought it could run well at double-figure odds. And maybe Board Rider, the fresh horse on the scene, could run well as well.
The fourth, we head out to a mile, benchmark 74. Who have you come up with?
Yeah, interesting race here. I was tossing over 2 here. I ended up going for number 6 Carnival Row from the McAvoy stable. Was good run behind Carbonaros a couple of starts back, and then came out and won nicely at its last start at Sandown. I thought that was a nice run, sort of sat just off the pace and wore them down to win that. I think it'll be further improved again. I like backing horses, as you know, third up with a couple of nice runs under their belt, a second and a first. So I've got it on top. Hardest to beat the 16. Trengura, or whatever, however you want to pronounce it.
Treasurethe, I think is.
Yeah, something like that. Treasurethe. Mm-hmm. 3 starts this time in, 3 wins, flying at the moment. No reason it can't run another nice race. They were the 2 I was looking towards.
Doesn't old Enver do really well? He keeps turning out with these lightly raced horses that have 3 and 4 wins out of 4. Well, same as it like Tranguhere does have before they get to town. That said, it's a chance, as is Liberami, but becoming a gunner. I'm going to give Electric Bell one more chance. I thought it did as well as it could last week. I never got out. Goes from the claimer back to the senior jockey and really ate at the line the 2 runs before. So I could give it one more chance at the price. And I think your horse is alive as well, Carnival Row. The fifth is an 1100-metre benchmark nothing, 1100-metre handicap for the 3-year-olds. And I'm going to flip this. I had it the other way this morning, but the more I've thought about it, I'm going to put Scampy on top. I think the penny may have dropped. This has always been a horse of some spruik and has started short in some very good races. It's now got a kill under its belt. It's now got Mickey D. And you're getting an each-way price. I'm going to put it on top from Sweethearted, who was a nice resumption. Just hit the line, I suppose, in an okay race, but a good enough resumption to be in the market here. And Let's Face the Music comes back from Sydney next best. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going for the resuming Manolo Bling. Gets the 3 kilo claim here from the Freeman stable, carrying 51. I think it's best horse in the race. It'll probably go forward, sit in a handy position, and if it's wound up enough, which by the last trial looks like it is, that was a handy trial, winning there. I think it can run really well. I'm keen it can run a nice race, and I was concerned about Scampy. I thought its first up win was good, and you're right, the penny may have dropped. Really scared of it. I wouldn't be letting it get under my guard either, but kind of found them. That was the way I went.
The 6 is a benchmark 84 over 1,100 metres. Who's winning this?
Yeah, can't go past the favourite here, Tatsamuki. That was a great resumption there. Just led, held on, fought hard. 1,100 here will be further improved. Gate 10's okay. It'll burn across, and they'll have to get past it.
Yeah, it's on top. Won well first up. It's only going to be fitter. And what I like off the long break is it went back and had a trial since, just to get any issues out of the legs. Going to control. It's going to win. My best of the day. The quaddie kicks off with the gold bracelet, 1,400 metres for the girls. And I'm going to tip Poifect on top. It had to tick over. What's that? Poifect. Had a tick over first up, 1,100 metres. Tick over with the apprentice on. Senior jock jumps on. Swooper's gate. And it's, again, what are we getting? About $8 there. It's on top from Extra 2, who might actually be the proper bet in the race. It's going well. Just needed some luck this preparation. Gets the best jockey. Zlotti's very nice horse, but does come from midweek grade to go up and has to take that step yet. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Zlotti's. Again, it's in the range of what I like to see here. First up run was very good. Won quite nicely second up, and I think there's further improvements. Clear on top for me. Gets the right draw here. Trainer's flying. I got it on top. I think Regal Vow's the hardest to beat. That stable's going well as well. I think, can't really find too much outside of that.
The Bendigo Guineas is up next. It's over 1,400 metres as well. What are we doing here?
Yeah, look, I thought this was a bit of a tricky race here. I think Wonder Boy's going to be hard to beat, but again, I'm just not quite convinced how honest it is. And $3 I was not that keen on carrying the 60 kgs. I've gone for somewhere resuming. Only had the 2 starts. Its very first start was very nice, and then finished third in a Group 2 Sandown Guineas back last year. Not that far behind Snitsanova. I think that's a good form line for this, and I think if it's ready to go here, it has the most upside and hardest to beat. So I got it on top and at a nice little price.
I've tipped somewhere on top at a nice little price. I think it actually, it wasn't stood at all in that wet track at the end of that prep either. I think dry track, clean air, Gate 3, John Allen isn't always a great spot to be, but I think it's a good horse. The trials have been good, and I'm going to go with it as well. Look, I think Wonder Boy probably should be obvious, chasing a Group 1 winner last start in Lazura, who you mentioned in the Randwick preview, but I sort of agree with you. I think we might have had enough of it. Anything else I want to mention? I don't really like Nadola that much either, so I was left with somewhere. The Golden Mile is next, over said mile, and what have I done here? I'm sticking with Exudo. It's won its last 4. Gate 16 is the concern, but hopefully can find running line, and may not be a bad thing by this time of day at Bendigo. So I'm going to put it on top again. From Lady Jones, I'm forgiving. Been stuck 3 wide outside lead last time out when I liked it at the Valley. $12. I'll save on it again. And look, for my own sanity, Holy Man's Aaron Bay will go in the quaddie. What are you doing, Beaver?
Yeah, when I first looked at this, I went, Exanudo, it's won 4 in a row. Can it continue to win? It's due to lose. Let me have a look. I kind of went through the form and I kept coming back and going, Robbie Griffiths, flying, Gate 15 maybe. And then I thought, well, why am I trying to look for things to beat this? I couldn't find it. Regal Zeus was good last start, but steps up to the 1,600, will lead. Honest horse and tough horse, but I just don't know if it can hold the others out. Smoking Princess, I thought, was a genuine chance. Just Gate 1, I wasn't so sure about there and where it would get to. It will get back in the field and needs to get the run at the right time. So I stuck with Exanudo on that basis. But outside of that, I couldn't get excited by anything else.
We're going to wrap up with a benchmark 84 over 1,300 metres. How are we coming home?
Yeah, this was, again, a tricky race to finish the day. I kind of got down to 2 horses. I've settled on number 7, Asgarda. I liked the first up run, being off for 4 months at all in the Albury City Handicap. I thought that was a really nice run. Prior to that, was in the Kosciuszko and ran 5th in the Kosciuszko. That looks like a good form line to me. He's always, it's had the 18 career starts and been in the placing 12 times. Goes good second up. I just handles all sorts of going. I just thought it was a nice little price. I had it on top. I thought the main danger was Carbonados. Number 11 at double figure odds. Thought it could run well, and that would be my saver in a tricky way to end the day.
I've got Pivot City on top. I hate gate 1, and I'm not necessarily sure it suits this horse the way it needs to wind up, but I do think it is going very well since the gelding. I have Carbonados, the main danger. Gets a nice run from gate 5. It is a talented horse with a couple of head issues, but $10 looks fair enough to me. What are you doing with your quaddie?
Yeah, look, interesting, but race 7, the first leg, I'm going number 1, Wings of Song, number 2, Extra 2, number 3, Regal Vow, and number 13, Celotes. In the second leg, I'm going number 3, Wonder Boy, 4, Endola, number 7, Somewhere. Can't see anything knocking those out. In the third leg, I'm going to go number 4, Regal Zeus, number 8, Extenuto, number 10, Smokin' Princess, and number 15, Aramco. And to finish the day, I'm going number 5, Marble 9, number 7, Asgarda, number 11, Carbonados, number 14, El Rocco, and number 15, Proved.
Excellent. Who is your best and value on the Bendigo card?
My best comes up in race 2, number 3, Killiana. And my value bet is, where is my value bet? It comes up in race 8, number 7, Somewhere.
My best is Michael D. 4 or 5 winners for him tomorrow, but his best is race 6, number 3, Tatsamuki. Value, I looked at Waymarie, but I'm going to race 7, number 7, Poifect on a good betting card. What's happening in Queensland as we roll towards their Queensland Carnival, which we will start keeping an eye on in the next, I'd say 3 weeks or so. What's happening up there?
Yeah, look, not a day I was overly excited in, to be brutally honest with you. I think the favourite in the first, albeit it's Tuzon, should win, so you might want to take it and multi it up. That's Get Ready Lass in the first. And then as we skip forward to a little bit later in the day, I thought, where was it? Race 6, number 15, Lady Lucifer. Going for 3 straight, around the $6.50. I thought it could run really well. I liked race 7, number 8, Autumn Girl, resuming from the Schwede stable. Thought it would be hard to beat. And then to finish the day, a little bit of value, race 9, number 1, Safrado. So a little bit of value up there tomorrow, but not a hell of a lot of confidence, but that doesn't mean a lot too.
No problems at all, Beaver. Thank you very much. We'll do this again next week as we do look at the all-age stakes card from Randwick. Until then, good punting this weekend, guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye.